Gentani, and welcome to another episode of Godfather Minute. I'm Alex Robinson.
I'm Anthony Robinson.
Together we are the Godfather Minute Brothers, and we're here to talk about minute 137 of The Godfather.
Alex, e minuto. Numero 137.
37.
You got it.
37?
37.
37.
Sete.
37.
37. You got it.
All right. I'm like a native at this point.
You are.
Minute 137. It starts off with Mikey and Kay up in New Hampshire. Mikey tells Kay that he loves her. And
finally, after Clemenza pleaded with her.
Then they get into his car and they drive away. Meanwhile, Tessio and Clemenza are raising beefs with Mikey, claiming that Barzini is chiseling into their territory. Tessio can't find anywhere in Brooklyn to hang his hat. Mikey urges patience. Clemenza reminds the Don that he promised that at one point they could form their own families.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Don feeds his fish.
Feeds his fish.
I laughed when I saw the fish because I was like, "Oh, it's totally tied into Tessio."
Yeah.
He's like, he has the fish trapped in a little box.
Exactly, and you hear Tessio talking.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's almost like
it's crazy.
It's almost like they got even going to do the voice of one of the fish. Like they should have cut to a close up of him and Clemenza as the fish in the tank. Godfather.
Soon enough, it'll be. I won't have a place to swim. Barney.
Barnacles?
Barney Barnacles.
Yeah, so do you have anything about the K Mikey stuff? It's kind of just pretty much the same thing as last week.
Yeah, same thing. He tells her that he needs and loves her. He's laying it on thick. She doesn't even have a response. I do like how he kind of just ushers her into the car. She abandons her school children there.
I was like, she gets right in the car, just drives back to New York right from there.
That's
like,
it.
She never goes back. She doesn't get her stuff. She doesn't get.
I did try to get a good look at who was driving the car because there's been some debate about that. Could not tell. Yeah, I wonder if it was Apollonia.
No,
she's all charred up.
Oh man. The only note I had was that the car that they drive. I remember I brought the Woody last week, a couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks ago, and so let me look up what car this is. For the gearheads out there, and I've discovered an intriguing resource called the IMCDB. The Internet Movie Car Database.
Whoa.
It's literally, you look up any movie and car nerds have gone in there and identified every year and model of every car in the movie. So
that's awesome.
So this, the 1949 Cadillac Fleetwood is what Rocco /Al /Apollonia is driving. So there you go, gearheads.
Very cool. So they got the original car for the scene. It's not like they...
I don't think they rebuilt it.
Cool.
That's an interesting.
Anyway, any
so,
bits about the car? Anything that makes it unique?
No. I mean, there's a lot of like on Wikipedia. There's a whole entry for it, but it's very very literally nuts and bolts descriptions. It's not so much about the like cultural aspect. It's like, the rear suspension was a 4.8 model, which differentiated it. It's very like. People who are really into that kind of thing.
So if you click on that car in the IMCDB, does it list all the movies that car has been in, similar to IMDb?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't look that way. That would be a good. If you're like, I'm such a fan of that car, I'm going to look up every movie that
just create a bunch of links.
Yeah,
shows what awards.
I wouldn't surprise me because if it's linked one way, I don't know why it wouldn't be linked. The reverse.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool.
wonder what car is most frequent. What model has most commonly appeared in movies?
In movies throughout
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
Whoa. Wow. I wonder if there's some.
No, I was going to say we'll ask, we'll answer, but I have no idea.
There's no way to find
how to
out.
find that.
Yeah.
Although, maybe we'll go to the IMCDB. Maybe they'll have the top, like
Okay.
the most popular, most used cars.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks
So-
for looking that up.
Tessio.
He
doesn't want-
Fish is pissed.
Fish is pissed. You don't want to have a pissy
Yeah.
fish. He says, I don't want any favors. Just take off the handcuffs.
I don't want any help, Mikey.
Any help. Just take off the handcuffs.
Just take the cuffs off.
Why do you think Mikey was handcuffing him in the meeting? It makes no sense.
He wasn't literally handcuffing him. He's handcuffed to the seat.
He's like doing magic. Oh, it's easy, Tessio. I'm doing a magic trick. Watch out.
Yeah. So going back to the classic line that you and I have
Which one?
referenced a lot,
Hanging your hat?
Barzini's guys are chiseling away at my territory. Soon I won't have a place in Brooklyn to hang my hat. Mm-hmm. Great line.
It is.
I think I know, but why? I think it's kind of funny how a place to hang my hat is equated to a place of safety. Is that because you are so comfortable there that you take your hat off, you let your guard down?
I guess so,
you
yeah.
You sit down.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I never thought of that as like a.
Yeah, it's an odd expression, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Tessio didn't just make it up.
He coined the expression. He's like, "What's with you in hats all the time?"
Pretty soon there won't be a aquarium where I can scoop my hat out of the water. He's making them all fish themed, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. And Tom's all like, "Sally, people aren't going to be wearing hats. Maybe not now, but 10 years from now." And he's like, "No, people will always wear hats." You're wrong, Tom.
Tom, you're wrong. Mikey, you're wrong. These guys are like sharks.
Sharks.
Yeah, everything's all fish themed, all like ocean and lake.
What was I just? I was going to look up something. What did we just ask?
If hang your hat, it was an
Oh,
old
right. I was
expression.
going to look up that expression and see
Yeah.
if there was any. What is? You said there was something in the book about this scene.
Oh, there's a bunch in the book.
Mm-hmm. You want? Why don't you
Should I
start
go
us
for
off
that
with
now?
something? Yeah.
Okay. Some differences. So, Alex, do you know who's in the room at this meeting?
Well, let's see.
At least according to Puzo's writing.
Well, obviously we have the Don,
Yes.
Tessio, Clemenza, Mikey. Those are everyone we see in here. I feel like Tom's in the room. Maybe Al? Is that it?
Carlo Rizzi.
Carlo's in the room?
Carlo Rizzi is in the room.
Not in the movie, he's not.
Okay, well, Puzo has him in the room. Let's see. This is interesting. Puzo writes, ever since Don Corleone, this is some cool background information about the dynamics and the change of power.
Nice.
Okay. Very cool. Puzo writes, ever since Don Corleone had announced his semi-retirement, by the way, one word, semi-retirement, and Michael's takeover of the family business, there had been some strain. Succession in control of such an enterprise as the family was by no means hereditary.
Huh, interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Puzo writes, in any other family powerful capo regimes, Puzo writes, in any other family, powerful capo regimes such as Clemenza and Tessio might have succeeded to the position of Don. Or at least they might have been allowed to split off and form their own family.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
What do you think?
What do you think the logistics of that are?
How it works?
Yeah, like so if Clemenza said, we're going to form our own family, does that, I'm assuming that means like the Corleones will not get any financial, like that seems like it could
No,
be a
I
big
think they
thing
would
to
have
lose
to.
like a,
Yeah.
there must be maybe like a buyout thing
Yeah,
where it's like,
they
okay,
get
if you want to be your
something.
own family, you have to pay us $2 million cash
Or they're renting territory. They make payments to the Corleones.
but isn't that then the same as being in
But there's probably some transition to that. Yeah. I think Tessio and Clemenza, rock, paper, scissors. The winner gets Brooklyn to hang his hat. And
wow.
the loser Can't hang his hat.
It seems weird that would be a thing that was allowed.
Yeah, it's very
Unless
strange.
it became like, it seems like it would have to be something where it broke off violently as opposed to it just being a peaceful, like, okay, Clemenza, you can go now.
Or one family just completely dominates, and that family's giving up some type of maybe side business that's not as lucrative. I mean, you're right. I mean, as soon as you allow another family, it's more competition.
Yeah.
So it is odd. We might learn more about that later. Yeah.
I mean, although, unless, I guess, if Mikey is letting them know about it, I guess he does let them know about his plan to be completely legitimate. That could be a reason why you would want to break off, because you're like, well, the Corleone family is finished. This way of doing things is done.
Yeah. Even Pop knows that.
Yeah. But they can have like Clemenza would basically be like Joey Zaza.
Yeah.
Like the guy on the ground who's still involved in the crime, but has like a friendly relationship with the
Clemenza.
Clemenzasa.
Clemenzasa. It's like the stuttering Clemenza. So I got a few more things for the book.
All right.
So interesting. Puzo writes, then too, ever since Don Corleone had made the peace with the five families, the strength of the Corleone family had declined. The Barzini family was now indisputably the most powerful one in the New York area. Allied as they were to the Tattaglias, they now held the positions the Corleone family had once held. Also, they were slyly whittling down the power of the Corleone family, muscling into their gambling areas, testing the Corleone's reactions, and finding them weak, establishing their own bookmakers. So little by little, Barzini's chipping away, and Tessio's right.
You mean Tattaglia?
No, I meant Tessio. Tattaglia's a pimp. It was Tessio.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he is right. Obviously, Mikey has a like he's saying, you have to be patient. He keeps telling you have to be patient.
No.
Yeah, it's kind of a precursor for what's going to happen with Frank Pantangeli. He comes with the same beef, like, oh, the Rosado brothers, or like, so it's a similar kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Do you think in the name of strength of it being like a cohesive narrative, would it be better if like when Frank Pantangeli is talking about his territory, if instead of saying the Rosado brothers, he said, the Tattaglia brothers, or the bars like the Stracci brothers, like some other one that was connecting it to the first one? Or
I wonder.
Does that just reflect how quickly things can turn over? And
yeah, I think that.
So,
yeah. Interesting.
Just like Hyman Roth isn't at this meeting, where it feels like he should be at the meeting.
Yeah.
Not this meeting, the meeting of the five families.
Yeah, the meeting of the five families.
Hello, Carlo.
Puzo writes, the Barzinis and the Tattaglias were delighted with the Don's retirement. Michael, formidable as he might prove to be, could never hope to equal the Don in cunning and influence for at least another decade.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, now, maybe 10 years from now, Mikey, you'll have the cunning as Pop. The Corleone family was definitely in a decline. Puzo writes, they
haven't got that kind of muscle anymore. They're being driven out by the other families.
So I guess at this stage, it's a 25-year-old Frank Pantangeli who's old. It doesn't make sense. Even though it's Godfather 1, I consider Frankie Five Angels really young, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. You would have to, because he would only be like 5 years younger than he looked.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's in the. I gotta read some of those Godfather novels. I gotta get back on that horse about reading the ones that take place where they chronicle, because I can easily see it being in Godfather. Like we could do that in Godfather 4. Have a flashback to and we could show a young Frank Pantangeli.
Yeah.
So Frankie, let me teach you how to play hearts.
Are those books on audio? Can you get them?
Oh, I don't know. Why, you want to listen to them?
I'm just wondering, because I know you do audiobooks, right?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. No.
I do podcasts and I do Kindle, so combine those and it's like an audiobook.
I think at least Omerta is on audiobook, but I put it in the tape player and I didn't hear anything. Omerta. Puzo writes, It had, of course, suffered. So talk about the Corleone family.
The strength.
The Corleone family suffered serious misfortunes. Freddie had proved to be nothing more than an innkeeper and ladies' man. The idiom for ladies' man, untranslatable, but connoting a greedy infant always at its mother's nipple. In short, unmanly.
Oh, dear. Poor Freddie.
He just wants some respect.
Didn't he earlier say that he was doing great when he was out there?
Things changed fast. As soon as the Don semi-retired.
Well, I bet when he got there, he was first all disciplined. And then once he got a taste of the ladies around there, he totally lost all his drive.
That's great. Well, Fredo, I got a business to run. I got to kick asses to make it work. He was on two mothers' nipples. He was on a mother's nipple 2 at a time. Mama! Let's see. Sonny's death, too, had been a disaster. Check this out. Sonny had been a man to be feared, not to be taken lightly. Of course, he had made a mistake in sending his younger brother, Michael, to kill the Turk and the police captain. Though necessary in a tactical sense, as a long-term strategy, it proved to be a serious error. Why do you think, Alex, before I read it?
Huh.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know. So wait, who's saying this? The Don?
Puzo is saying this.
No, but who is...
I think it's the what is it, the omnipotent voice?
The narrator.
The narrator.
So the narrator is saying it's not like he's relating what Freddie said.
No. This is the narrator.
Wow. Why was it a serious
that's why
mistake?
This is fascinating stuff. He said it was
because he should have eaten his veal before he killed her.
He should have told that girl he loved her when he had the chance. It proved to be a serious error. It had forced the Don eventually to rise from his sickbed. It had deprived Michael of 2 years of valuable experience and training under his father's tutelage. His father.
What?
So that's assuming that he was in succession to take over the family,
Yeah, that seems
didn't seem like it was going to happen.
Yeah. Although, yeah, I guess, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sonny would theoretically still be because if he didn't kill the police captain, then the war wouldn't have started.
Yeah, because if he hadn't done that,
then
Sonny probably would still be alive. Maybe they would have made the drug deal. The war wouldn't have started. Sonny would have lived. They would have made the deal with the Turk. But
that doesn't make sense because so he's specifically blaming on Mikey killing the police captain.
Let's see. It had forced the Don eventually to rise from a sickbed. It had deprived Michael of 2 years of valuable experience and training under his father's tutelage. And of course, and then it just goes into the consigliere. And of course, an Irish as a consigliere had been the only foolishness the Don had ever perpetrated. No Irishman could hope to equal a Sicilian for cunning. So went the opinion of all the families, and they were naturally more respectful to the Barzini-Tattaglia alliance than to the Corleones. Their opinion of Michael was that he was not equal to Sonny in force, though more intelligent, certainly, but not as intelligent as his father. A mediocre successor and a man not to be feared too greatly.
So, okay, so that last part, that was the opinion of the other families.
Yeah.
So was the other part the opinion of the families about him killing the police officer? Because we still got to get back to that part of it. Yeah. I don't see how that was Mikey's fault.
It seems like the narrator. The Corleone family was definitely in a decline. It had, of course, suffered serious misfortunes.
They gambled and they lost, basically.
Yeah.
Because they were, I guess, hoping or thinking that they could win the war against the Tattaglias and the Barzinis, but they clearly didn't. And so the Don had to wind up basically capitulating to the deal that he didn't want to, but he would have had to do that if he didn't want the war
in the first place.
So it doesn't seem...
Yeah. It doesn't completely add up.
Yeah.
But the point is that the Tattaglia and Barzini alliance was now much stronger than the Corleones.
Right, but that would have happened...
That would have happened anyway?
I mean, theoretically, is Barzini's in on it from the very beginning.
I think
So
so.
Barzini and Tattaglia were already
they're already in
partners in
cahoots.
this thing. So
I guess what's to stop any of the families from teaming up together to squash another family? That's what Barzini and
I guess that's what
Tattaglia
the
do.
wars. I guess that's what the wars are. Wars.
Yeah.
That's a lot of blood. Blood is a big expense.
It's a big, you're right. It's a big expense. Yeah.
So unless you were sure that you could take him out, which Barzini clearly seems to think that
Yeah.
he's going to ultimately,
Mm-hmm.
eat the Corleone's empire,
it's great
like
how
a
they're
greedy
all,
child.
it's great how they're all underestimating Mikey.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing how the story ends, it's particularly good. Puzo also writes, this is interesting. Also, though the Don was generally admired for his statesmanship in making the peace, the fact that he had not avenged Sonny's murder lost the family a great deal of respect. It was recognized that such statesmanship sprang out of weakness. Isn't that fascinating? That at the end of the day, you could bargain, you can position for power, but if you don't do these really basic things like avenge a child's death,
Yeah,
like you are weak. You're going to be seen
it's
as
what
weak.
people perception is everything.
Yeah.
So in that context, it's always tempting to view the end of GF1 as basically a happy ending because Mikey gets revenge on all the people, and now he's there. He's the only crime boss.
Yeah.
But is that ultimately a bad move?
For business?
Bad for, would Mikey have been better off letting the Corleone family get dismantled and not?
Oh, and just going legit. And
He says they want to be legit in 5 years anyway.
That's
Why are they
true,
bothering
yeah.
to kill off all these crime bosses if they're going to?
Well, those are the only, he doesn't have any skills, real life skills. And what else is he going to do?
It's true. He's like,
What is he going to, he can't buy out Immobiliare on a,
whenever he gets back to the
Carpenter's
corner, he's like,
pension.
all right, you plant a gun and I'm going to kill the Pope. What if you, things always come down to someone planting a gun and him shooting someone.
yeah.
So yeah,
And every few years he has to flee the country. Someone's got to bring him back.
it happens every few years. He gets the bad blood out. So it seems odd that in that context, it looks almost like Mikey shooting the police, the McCluskey and the Five Families one both seem like kind of like death spasms of the Corleone family.
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of like lashing out in
Yeah.
almost like a cornered animal. It's just
Yeah.
like not thinking long term, just thinking,
Yeah.
So,
Which
anyway.
makes the end of GF1 even cooler. That Mikey being in a less powerful position, the Corleone family being in decline and having less muscle, that he pulls that off. It's a power move. Don Zalucci would respect that move.
It's true. There was no children near any of the shooting,
Yeah,
so
no.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. So a couple more things from the book. What
else you got?
So in particular about Mikey, Puzo writes, all this was known to the men sitting in the room and perhaps even believed by a few.
Wait, now this is the room that.
This is the room in the second half of this minute.
Okay, not the Five Families.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Carlo Rizzi liked Michael, but did not fear him as he had feared Sonny. He knew Michael was clean, and so he particularly liked him. No. Remember we talked about Carlo being a clean freak.
Oh,
Clemenza, too, though he gave Michael credit for a bravura performance with the Turk and the police captain, could not help thinking Michael too soft to be a Don.
yeah.
Clemenza had hoped to be given permission to form his own family, to have his own empire split away from the Corleone. And then we'll get into the other stuff next minutes when Don responds to Clemenza's request.
So Clemenza also talks about we need to recruit. Just let us recruit some more men.
Yeah.
And I wonder how they go about doing that. How do they go
doing the recruiting?
Like how? Yeah.
Well, if you stick around for the bonus content, we'll talk about it in the Godfather newsletter.
So they do
Want ads, it's simple.
some kind of Costa Nostra newsletter.
I do think they have their own LinkedIn page.
Facebook group.
Yeah. Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse nightclub. That's where they recruit. Speaking of which, you can check out all our funny posts and interact with us on Facebook. And we'll be even advertising for some button men positions. So
A lot of
if you're
button
interested,
men.
if you're interested, you can apply there. There are a few more things in the book, but that have nothing to do with this scene.
Okay.
A couple things that are going on that Puzo writes about, but they aren't in the movie at all.
Okay. I also have a deleted scene I wish to talk about.
Okay. Let me just knock this out.
Sure.
So, do you remember Nino Valenti? That was Johnny Fontaine's childhood friend.
Yeah, who he wanted him also to be a singer, but
Yeah. I feel like a third to a half of the book is about Johnny's adventures in Hollywood.
yeah.
So Nino Valenti ended up moving out to Hollywood, and he's working with Johnny. They're partying pretty hard. Nino is in some movies. He's an alcoholic. He's drinking himself to death. Johnny now at this phase is making his own movies, and he's producing them. He's acting in some, but he's producing them all, and he's making a ton of dough.
Are you saying that movie made him a big star?
A big star! It was perfect for him. Let's see. And this is from the book. Puzo writes, everybody was making a fortune out of it, so his movies, and Jack Waltz was losing 10 years of his life. You can just see him going crazy, reading Variety in the morning. Like, what?
His hair went white.
But Johnny was not happy. You know why?
His voice.
It was.
This is weak. It's
because he really deep down is a singer, and he can't sing very much anymore. Very sad.
Yeah, poor Johnny.
Yeah. So you said there's a deleted scene?
Well, there was in the original in the script. It actually took place in the middle of the Kay and Mikey scene. So in the movie, you'll recall Mikey goes to visit Kay, and he says, she says, "How long have you been back?" And he says, "Oh, it's been a year, longer than that, I think. It's good to see you, Kay." And then it was going to go and do a flashback to Mikey talking to the Don in the garden in another scene.
Wow.
So,
not the scene we see later where they're in the garden.
It has a lot of the same information, which makes me think at one point, like, they probably cut this because it has a lot of the same info. Maybe they put some of the stuff into that other scene. So
it's like, you could have been Painter Corleone, you could have been Driver Instructor Corleone, you could have been bungee jumping technician Corleone. It's all that. So here's clearly they cut it.
So here's the actually no. Now that I look at it, it doesn't have much. It's all new information. So they're walking through the garden, and the Don says, "Lettuce, tomatoes, peppers," and Mikey says, "Pop, what about Sonny? What about Sicily? I swore that I would never break the peace." So I guess Sicily also counts for the Don didn't even know that there was not just Sonny's murder wasn't avenged, but the death of Apollonia was also not avenged. So that's two deaths.
Yeah.
I swore that I would never break the peace, but won't they take that as a sign of weakness?
Oh.
You gave your word that you would. No, wait. It is a sign of weakness.
He recognized what everyone else already seems to know.
And then Mikey says, "So you gave your word that you wouldn't break the peace. I didn't give mine. You don't have to have any part of it. I'll take all responsibility."
Whoa.
Don Corleone smiling. "We have a lot to talk. We have a lot of time to talk about it now." So then it was
he just turns, and then it was going to
go back to the scene of him and Kay saying, "Oh, I'm going to work for my father now. He's a very sick man."
I'm glad they cut that.
Yeah, it's not really needed, but
well, not only that, it spoils the ending.
Oh, that he didn't.
He's intimating really that he's going to be.
Oh yeah, that's another good reason to kind of. Yeah, that's another.
That technically, Poppy won't be breaking your word. I will when I have them all killed at the end of the movie.
That's good, Micah. That's good. That's funny, Papers. That's real funny, Mikey.
So the last thing I have is, do you think Clemenza's wife is responsible for this drive to him wanting to start his own family?
I hadn't thought about that. Makes sense. Wow.
Because we know Tessio's the smart one, so we know he would want to try to start his own family. But after Clemenza doesn't reach out to Barzini or anything like that, I feel like if you were going to split off to form your own family, you would have to have an agreement with. There must be some kind of still under their protection. Because let's say Tessio said, I'm going to form my own family. And then Barzini just immediately took over his land. What would, like, Tessio's a tiny little family compared to who we imagine Barzini is. So how could he?
I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mrs. Clemenza is the one who said, like,
I
just
think
tell him
you're
you
right.
need more men. You'll recruit more men.
Don't forget to leave the gun and leave the family. yeah. Oh, and don't hit the kids when you're backing out of the family.
And so,
Mrs.
and then she's like,
Clemenza.
tell him when you get there, make sure you say you have nowhere to hang your hat. So then when Tessio did it, Clemenza was all like, oh, damn it. That's like, because Tessio heard that. I was like, oh, that is a good line. I'm going to use that one. Damn it, Sally.
Yeah.
So, you henpecked Clemenza.
Yeah.
So, let's.
So funny she's in that one scene, yet the significant role she plays.
Well, we learned that all his dialogue was vetted by.
I can't even
was
speak for himself. I think she even had him pre-record his lines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or even like Brando, the actor, write them on big dummy cards and station them around the
she
room.
wrote him. She was the one. So I guess we'll rate this minute.
Yeah.
Then. Let's see. We got a little bit of K and Mikey steaming it up.
We got a classic line, classic Tessio line.
We got a classic Tessio line. We get a little bit of Brando feeding fish. I never noticed him really feeding the fish before. So that
Isn't
was
that wild? And fish is in the tank, trapped in there, and Corleone's feeding him.
Yeah.
It's like he is sustaining him, providing his. He's buttering his bread.
So that's why he wants to, he wants to go form his own family, but the Don knows he'll never survive outside that tank. So he has to be inside the tank. It's for his own good.
Yeah.
So, all right.
That's so funny. We're now analyzing this as if that is a real thing because it's fish.
Because Barney Miller wasn't even done yet.
I know. But I think your theory from a few weeks ago that this whole thing inspired the fish character on Barney Miller is spot on.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Who was that guy in the scene from The Godfather with the fish? The scene with the fish? What are you talking about?
Okay, so let's rate it. Oh, it is a.
Now, keep in mind, half of it is Mikey and Kay.
Yeah.
So you can't just go for the good stuff.
And I love you, Kay. I'll get in the car. Don't
Get in the car, Kurt.
just ignore the gun and the broken windshield and then the charred bones in there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same car from Sicily.
Oh, you really
Keep shipping it
is.
around.
It is kind of funny that the last time we saw Mikey, it was literally the scene where his wife got killed in a car, and in this one, he's putting his wife into another car, his soon-to-be wife into another car. And it's also he's talking to Kay about wanting to start a family, and then immediately cuts to Clemenza and Tessio wanting to get out of the family.
Whoa.
So it's things are in flux.
Okay, I want us to have a family. Just wear this black wig, and I'm gonna call you Apollonia. Just go along with it. Oh, Mikey. Creepy. All right, I got mine.
All right.
I think I got mine.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 3. Yeah.
3, yeah.
It was just the second half, I would say 4. It was just the first half, I would say 2.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
And it's about
brother.
30 seconds in, so it's literally 50-50.
It really is a
so,
split minute, isn't it?
Yeah, it's split the minute.
So what do we got for the bonus content, Alex?
I don't know. What
We have our ever lengthening chain of
recurring
stand-up items.
features,
Cabbage Patch Kids, Garbage Pail Kids. You got your little budget commercial. You got your merch. There's gonna be some great merch from this episode.
Dungeons and Dragons.
D&D stats. Oh, I did some research on some D&D stats.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
Well, remember last week we were talking about saving throws and what were they? So I did a little bit of research.
All right, so you asked, we answered.
That's right.
We'll do that. We'll do that in the bonus content. Yeah, I'm sure we'll come up with some other fun things.
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah.
Don't forget we're on YouTube.
Always, but
We always do.
yes, we are on YouTube. Godfather Minute.
Yeah.
And all right then. So
Until next time. Soon there'll be no place
It's left in Brooklyn to hang my hat.